you've been given the baton
Mm.
and you have to run your specific leg of the race as fast as you possibly can. And I want to, and honestly, you know, I say I want to flip the family tree, but I do want to know, I want to be able to look back when I'm like 95 without any regrets. I can say, you know what, win, lose, draw, I know for a fact that I did everything that was in front of me. I took advantage of the opportunity that was in front of me. I gave it, I was all in, and I can live with the outcome. But I just think you have to be driven towards that ultimate purpose.
Is it, do you enjoy it? Like, is it that burden, that responsibility to it? How much, because I get it, right? That can be stressful at times, that drive. It's nice and easy to sit on the couch and watch Netflix and just relax,
sure.
right? Especially if you got a good family, all that stuff. Is there ever moments where you question it and you think like, whew, this is a lot. This feels like a lot of pressure for me to be constantly striving for it.
So here's something. I was talking to a friend of mine, right? This was not too long ago. And he had this long career in the government, and he's got nice cars, he's got a nice family, he's got a really nice house, money's not an issue. And he looked me in the eye, it just totally took me off guard. He looked me in the eye, like he was about to cry, and he says, you know, because we were talking about my book and some other things, and he says, you know, Eric, I could have done more. I really could have, if I would have put myself out there when I was younger, I think I could have done. I think I settled in a lot of ways. It's like he was literally on the verge, and it just came out of left field. Because it's not like I was probing him. We were just talking about things I was doing and this and that. And that's what he said to me. I totally shocked. If you saw him, you would think, man, this guy is doing very well. But I left that conversation like, I don't ever want to look back with that. I regret that, you know, man, I could have, what would have happened if I really put myself out there? So I want to answer that question.
How do you gauge it though? How do you know, like, because that's a good example with him, right? I guess it's individual for everybody, but how do you ever know when you've done enough? Like, how do you know that even with everything you're doing, you won't be in that same position at some point, being like, you know what, I should have done whatever it is, right? I should have done a talk show. I should have, whatever, right? Like, how do you get a sense of like, I'm on the right path, I'm actually living my purpose, I'm doing enough, and I won't have that regret?
Well, I think it starts with your vision, and then it starts, we have to really break it down. Okay, what do I need to do? And what are my 12-week goals based off of the vision? What do I want to accomplish there? And then you have to break it down every day. Right. I have something I call a Twiggs top 5. When I'm writing down the 5 critical things I need to do every day that are going to lead me in the direction of the vision. So if I know within myself every day I'm doing things to move me in that vision, and I'm also course correcting, and I mean, I can be at peace to know that, hey, I'm executing on the plan. So that's kind of when especially when I'm working with people, that's what we work on. That every day that you're taking actions that are in alignment with the vision that you have.
So that puts a lot of emphasis on the vision, obviously. How do you have where how do you know that the vision is right? What tells you that? Is that just, again, is that inherent, like you feel it? Or how did you come to the confidence to say, yep, that's the vision, so I know now I'll put this infrastructure in place to get to it?
It's just kind of an inner feeling for me. When I fast forward to the future, right? So I say, okay, it's 20 years, 10 years, whatever the number, and I'll say, I'm saying to myself, wow, I did it. This is it. You know, what did I do? You know, what would make me feel like I'd arrived? So I start from there. And I think that helps if you can kind of put yourself in that future place.
And see how it feels. Almost, you almost test it out in your mind of like, would that feel good? Would this feel? Would this make me feel fulfilled? Yeah. Do you ever worry about like, because obviously our minds, we all have biases, we all have ego, we all have things, like we're all being influenced in different ways by society. Do you ever question that at all, to say, like, when you think about that vision, how do you know it's actually your true vision versus a vision that, and it could be different for different people, the one their parents gave to them, the one society told them they should go after, right? Getting to find that place where, for me, I know this is truly it.
Well, I think you just have to ask yourself why, right? And I think if you just keep asking, you get down to the core of why you want something. You try that, right? Like if you say, okay, well, I want to make a lot of money. Well, why do you want to make a lot of money? Because, I want to be able to support the family. Well, why do you want to be able to support the family? Because, you know what, when I was growing up, I didn't have the support. And I don't ever want anybody. And as you start to really get down to the emotion. So I think you have to keep asking yourself why till you get to the point where it strikes a nerve.
That's super interesting. Because keep going.
I was gonna say, now I'll give you an example, right? There was a lady I coached. This was years ago, and same exercise. Her homework assignment was to tell me what is it that she wants to accomplish, what's her vision, and she told me, "Oh, I want to have this $800,000 operation," and I just kept asking her why. I just said, "Well, why do you want that?" And at first, she was getting irritated. What do you mean why? And then finally, like she was almost about to cry, she said, "I want to have kids one day." So the whole thing was she wanted to have this operation. She wanted to be in a financial space where then ultimately it ran itself. She could be free and available. And really what she wanted was, so I think once you get down to the emotional core, that's how you can know that your alignment is right.
And that's got to be, particularly with the work you do, your book and everything around procrastination. I would imagine in some ways that's the key, right? Like if you don't know why you're doing the thing and what's actually, that's probably, at least I would imagine, you'll tell me like a reason procrastination exists because you don't know actually why you want to do it. If you actually even want to do it, right? You've told yourself, yeah, I want to start a business. But to what we were saying before, do you really want to start a business? Or did you just think that because your dad started a business and you feel like you have to? And until you get to that emotional core, as you called it, you don't actually know if you're being honest with yourself or not.